This is Fernando Herranz here. I'm going to show you today how to create your exposure adjustment layer for purposes of shooting still lifes and presenting still lifes with a difference in exposures, specifically for my digital photography class that is doing a still life image project. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right off by taking a picture. In this case, I've just taken a picture from a trip that I had taken a couple years back, and so I'm just using this image to adjust the exposure for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start off by saying make sure that you open your image in Photoshop to start. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your layers palette is visible and that your adjustments palette is also visible with these icons on it. Okay, so basically you have your image, you have your layers palette that's open, and you have your adjustment layers icons here also open in Photoshop. I'm using Photoshop 20 CC 2017, but this will work in Photoshop CS 6, I believe it is, which is what we're using in our class. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first, go ahead and select the plus minus icon here that will adjust the exposure for us and give us a separate adjustment layer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and the little flyout menu pops out. And right now we've got our exposure at 0, which is what we're looking at. This is what we're going to adjust. So right now the original image is at 0. Okay, so that's our middle point right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually save this image. Okay, it's at 0, it's the middle point that we want, and so we're going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to actually export it to web, which will make it smaller and a little bit more compact for us to be able to upload it to the Google Classroom when you submit this. So here we go. We're going to go to File, and then we're going to go ahead and export. And I believe in CS6 you have the option to export to web or save for web. So you're going to go ahead and select that. I'm actually going to export, and the option here in CC 2017 is going to be under the export option. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and click on Save for Web. And then a window opens up, and the image is really big right now, but I'm not too worried about that. I can adjust the size if I go down here to the zoom level, and I'm just going to go down to 25%. Excuse me. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at this. It looks pretty much okay with what I want. I'm going to look at my settings over here for JPEG, which is what I also want, and the quality 60 is okay too. And I'm going to go ahead, and everything else looks fine, and I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And I'm not adjusting any sizes or anything. I'm just saving it as is. Now I can, if I want to, I can adjust the image size over here, which might make things a little bit easier if you're setting up inside a table. And in fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's cancel this and look at our image size. Now right now it's a 3000 by 4000 pixel image, which is pretty big, and it's going to be a pretty big size for us. So I think if we pick one of the sides, the short side in this case, I'm going to pick the short side, the 3000, I'm going to make that 1000. Okay, and that automatically adjusts the other side, the height, okay, in this case, and I've basically reduced it by 33%, so which is okay. And so now I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, and this time I'm going to say, let's say exposure 1. Oops, let's spell it right, exposure. Okay, and actually let's go ahead and make that, let's change that a little bit. I want to make sure that it shows in the name so that we know which one we're picking for the setup in the table. Okay, so this one's going to be exposure and then 0. Okay, that's going to be where we're at, and we're going to do +1 +2 -1 -2 when we get the other images. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a separate folder for my images. I'm going to go ahead and go to the desktop. That's going to be an easy place for me to save them. and make sure that you also save these images to your CPS disk space. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on save. Excuse me. I'll try it again. Let's see, it's for some reason not giving it to me here. Let's go ahead and try it again here. There we go. Okay, so, and we'll call this still life exposures. Okay, I'm going to hit create. Okay, there's still life exposures. Okay, I'm going to save right there. Okay, so perfect. Okay, now I still have my flyout palette here, which I'm going to start making my adjustments. So I believe that my adjustments are asking me to have a +1, a +2, -1, -2. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by going to +1. I'm going to slide this to the right, and I'm going to wait till my the number that you see here in the upper right in the flyout, or I can type it in as well. I can say 1.0. Okay, and there it is. And so there's my image. And so that's all I'm really doing right there. And I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Export, and then Save for Web again. And I don't need to adjust anything in the window here, but if I do want to see it a little bit smaller, I can go ahead and click 25% or 12% just to take a look at it. And that's okay. And again, these other settings over here are fine. I'm going to change my image size to 1000 like I did before. I'm going to hit save. And now this time I'm going to say exposure, and then this one's going to be +1. Let's see if that name takes. Okay, let's hope. Let's hope. Okay, it took it. All right. And now we're just going to keep on going. Since we're on the +1 side, we're just going to go up to +2. Okay, let's make sure that that's the exact 2 exposures. There we go. Okay. And now you see that it's really blown out. It's very, very bright. But I'm going to still go with it. I'm going to go ahead and export again. Save for web. And I'm going to go ahead and just make it small again so I can see it. There it is. All these settings are good. I'm going to go ahead and change my image size. I'm going to go to 1000 again like I've done before. And then exposure, score +2. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay, and then I'm going to, since I already have my +2, now I'm going to go down to -1 and then -2. Okay, there is. Okay, this is pretty close. I'm going to keep it like that. -1.01. Export. Save for web. Okay, just doing this so I can see the image. Okay, I'm going to adjust my image size to 1000. I'm going to hit save. Okay, and I'm going to go exposure. Now I'm labeling it in exposure. This time it's -1, right? So let's go ahead and -1. Okay, and now we got one more to do, the -2. Let's go down to -2. Okay, it's pretty close to -2, -2.02. I'm going to hit File, Export, Save for Web. And one thing that I realized is that I didn't mention is the label. I can actually make it so that it says which object I've taken pictures of. So in this case, for this last one, I'm going to actually label it as image 1. Okay, so, but I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Okay, all these settings are good. Let me change my image size to 1000. I'll hit save. Okay, image 1, exposure, and then this is the -2, right? Okay, I'm going to hit save on that. Okay, and now I've got those. So that's basically what you have to do to get your 5 images. And then we will, I believe I had you do 10 images total per object. So I would say we want to make some adjustments as far as light positioning, so you get a good idea of what those images look like. So you should be able to crank out those 10 images by following this example I just set for you guys, and just make sure that you are distinguishing which object it is that you're saving it as, so that way you can put them in the document that I supplied to you correctly. Okay guys, good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing your images. Okay, signing off for now. Thank you.